Okay, so here is the PMI analysis template, and I'm going to do this in terms of what to do about possums. So I'm going to put that in the title there, so I know that this is all about possums. And it says here, the first thing, add in at least 3 possible solutions to your problem. So I know that one solution to possums is is trapping them. Another solution is poisons, and another solution is shooting. And if you can see there that this table here has updated with those 3 options, and that's going to become clear a little bit later. So the next thing, 2, add in any positives, minuses, which are negatives, and other interesting points for each solution. And you can use Command and Enter on the Mac to add additional rows. So for example, with trapping, a plus is it's relatively cheap per trap. Another positive, I press Command and Enter. It can be kills possums quickly. Okay, so you're putting in all that detail that you've found through your research. Minuses, they need to be set by people, so you've got to go up into the bush and set them. And the interesting point is that there's many different types. So you fill in for each of these different solutions. So with the poisons, it's relatively expensive. That should be a minus, shouldn't it? It kills many animals. Another negative is it has a bycatch. Kills non-targeted animals. Shooting, effective for individual animals. You need a hunter. So you get the idea. You fill in with all that descriptive detail. So when you've done that, you can now go to this problem solution matrix. And this third step, if you had to choose between these options or initiatives, what's the criteria you would use to judge which option was the best? And you fill them in here. So obviously one criteria is cost. One is animals killed. Okay, it's sort of effectiveness. If it was efficient, is another pretty important criteria. If there's people involved, and I'm not sure of a 5th criteria, so I'm just going to leave that one blank. And now I go to 4. Give each option a grade from 1 to 5. 1 is the best, 5 is the worst. And then we add up those and we get a total for each option. So in terms of cost, well, trapping, it's a little bit expensive, but not as expensive as poison. So I'm going to give it about a 3. So I'm making my own judgments here. Poisons, yeah, it is pretty expensive to drop poisons, and shooting is really poisons. And then I think, oh, actually, shooting is more expensive than poison, so I'm going to change that number there. So you feel free to change the ratings that you give each of these criteria. The animals killed, well, a trap only kills 1 animal. So in terms of effectiveness, it's probably a 4. Poisons, they kill heaps of animals. All right, so that's really effective. Shooting, probably less than trapping. You only shoot the animals you can see. In terms of efficiency, well, trapping it's okay for efficiency. Poison's probably the best, and shooting is probably least efficient. And in terms of people involved, yeah, trapping, number of people involved. So probably a 3. Poisons, not many if they're dropped from the air, and shooting, quite a bit. Number of people involved, I'll give that a 5. That's probably the worst. So now I'm thinking, thinking of poisons, they actually have an effect on the environment. So that's going to be my other criteria. And poisons have a really negative effect on the environment, so that's going to be the worst. Trapping, yeah, pretty minimal, and shooting probably pretty minimal. So I've given those scores the same. And then all I need to do is add up those. So I'm just going to add a quick formula here. Give it the sum of those numbers. And I can see the total for each one. And I'm looking for the lowest number. The lowest number is close to the best. So in this case, it looks like poisons, in terms of this analysis, is going to be my most effective solution. Okay, so that's a really great way to arrive at your thesis, what should be done. It's a really great way to structure your discussion.